All right, folks, welcome to the first video that we're going to deal with the first couple parts of the Automata project. So first thing to do is you should have come into your little waffle up here, start a new project called Automata, A-U-T-O, sorry, A-U-T-O-M-A-T-A, Automata. You're going to make that new project. Now, mine looks a little different because I don't have an Automata project, but I have just an Automata folder. And you're going to, so yours is going to say Automata up here, and you're just going to bring in this file right here. And that's all you're going to have. So mine looks a little different because I'm making a video with this. And you're going to bring in your crank later. So let's get that taken care of first. Then you're going to get this guy in here. And here's your 4 parts, and these are exactly the same size of what you're going to get when you actually build the physical one. We've got a bottom, a bottom, a back, a side, and a top. So first of all, before we start with this, it's a good idea to lock something down. So we're going to put this bottom, we're going to kind of fold everything up on top of it. So let's take that bottom piece that's over here in our timeline and ground it. Okay, that means everything else will sort of move in relationship to it. Notice the little push pin. Okay, so I'm going to show you the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to put the back on top of the bottom. Now the back and the side sort of nest in, and then the top fits on top, and the front will be open. So if you remember your constraints, we're going to go to Assemble. I'm going to make a new joint. Okay. Now what we're going to want is we're going to want our position. Not sure why it grayed out bottom. I want my motion to be rigid. Okay, because I want it stuck together. So back to position. Choose a corner that makes sense to you. I think what I'm going to choose, you got to kind of be careful with this, is choose that little corner right there, and that blue line has to be facing outward. Click. This is getting a little bit tricky. And then we're going to click on this corner. Now notice that I want the blue line to be facing the same way. I'm going to go back and show you what will happen if you don't do that. Point. And now it puts those two guys together. Now I'm going to show you what will happen if you don't do that. And it's moving all of those pieces, which is fine. So assemble, joint, I want a rigid, and I want that corner. Now watch what happens if I accidentally don't make the blue line go to the right place. Let's say I accidentally go like that. Okay, now it's going the wrong way. I can flip it around. Whoops, that's not what I want. I can flip it around and offset it all sorts of other ways. I can go, okay, let's look at that. But that's kind of a pain to flip things around and offset or change your angle or whatever. It's best if you can just get it to the right spot in the first place. So assemble, joint, rigid, make sure that my little blue line is poking out the right way. Make sure that my little blue line are the directions I want the blue lines to come towards each other. And there we go. All right. Now you're going to do kind of the same thing with these two sides and the top. The two sides nest inside of this. Okay. And the top then goes on top. So if you need help, ask for that. And once you've got your box assembled, it should look like this. All right. Again, it's tricky. You might need help. All right. Next is we're going to put a hole for the crank to go through on the side. Now, I'm not actually sure if it'll go through both or not. We're going to find out right here. Let's find out if it'll go through both. Oh, it looks like it will. Okay, so we're going to have a hole. Move myself out of the way here. Our diameter is 5/16 of an inch. 5/16. If it, I don't know why, if I got to get rid of those little red IN in there. I want it to go all the way through, which is good. It looks like it's going through both. Now, this is a little tricky. Before you hit enter, I want to make sure that it goes from this edge. Why am I not getting my references? Oh, I have to select them. So over here, I put the face. I have to select a reference. Why am I having a problem? Not sure why I'm having a problem. I'm going to try that again. Okay, I'm going to put my hole in there that's 5/16. Okay, I want it to go through all. If you look at the objects that it's cutting, it should tell me that I'm doing side 1 and side 2. Okay, and now I should be able to select a reference. Now, I don't know why that wasn't happening before. So I want to select the edge of the board, not the top of the top, but the edge of that. We're going to make it 2 inches from there. And we're also going to click this front edge. Be careful that you're not selecting the wrong thing. And we want it 2 inches from there. Good. And now we've got that hole that is going all the way through. Now that the body of this has been built, we are going to build the crank for this thing. So here's what you are going to do is we're going to start a sketch. Go ahead and choose this side over here. I usually like to turn the sketch grid off, but you can do whatever you want. Now, somewhere over here, you're going to just draw a circle that is 0.375. 38. Oh, I'm sorry, not 0.375. It's 5/16. 5/16. Enter. Okay. We're going to finish that sketch. Tilt a little bit so you can see, and we're going to extrude that piece to 7 inches. Now, very important on this is that you are making it a new extrusion or a new component. Move that out of the way, and not a new body, or you won't be able to move it around. So we want a new component on that. Okay. Now we have this new component. I'm going to rename that component as shaft. That way we know what it is over here. And also we are going to edit the appearance of that to kind of match the other stuff. I've got more stuff than you will have, but I think either cherry or oak works. Ooh, cherry doesn't work. Let's try that again. Appearance. I think oak is what I used before, so which is not up here. Ooh, doesn't seem to work out either. I'm going to try that, see what happens. Oh, yeah, oak works. Okay, I think that's what we did the other parts out of too. All right, now in your practice project, somewhere, now mine's a little different, so pay attention to what I'm saying and not what I'm doing. In your practice project, you will have something that looks like your crank. It's called geometric constraints. It's not called crank. And your crank will look a little bit different than mine, but you have this solid piece, and that's all you need. And what we're going to do is within this environment, once you can see that in your practice project, you're going to right click on that and you're going to move that file into your Automata project that you created. It might be a project and it might be a folder. I'm not sure which way you did it, but we want to move it into that spot and move. Now, I'm not going to do that because I already did it. Now, once you see that in your Automata, you should see that your little crank. Again, yours is called geometric constraints. We're going to drag that part into the project. Now, right now it's linked because it's linked to that original part. And if I go change it, it will also change it in here. We might need to fix that, but I don't think so. So we're going to click OK. And now what we're going to do is we're going to attach the crank to the shaft. Now your crank will look a little different. It's not quite as fancy as this, and that's okay, but the process is the same. So we're going to go to our assemble. We're going to create a joint. We want a rigid joint, and we're going to find a circle that's on the outside of that with the blue facing kind of downward here. And then we're going to select this with blue facing the same way. Okay. And click OK. All right. Now those things are connected together. Now to put this inside, because I made this a component, I can move it around. If you can't move it around, it's because you didn't make a component, you made it a body. So we're going to come up to here. And again, we're going to assemble. And we want a joint, but this time we want a revolute. We're going to choose a circle kind of over in on this side this time. Click. And then we're going to flip around and choose this outside circle here. Now, it didn't bring the shaft, but it will as soon as I click OK. And now we should be able to grab that crank and move it around. All right, congratulations, you have done Automata Part 1.